You're watching Council Wrap Up. We're here with the latest news of the Montgomery County Council for the month of March. As a way to connect with residents while maintaining social distancing during the COVID-19 crisis, the council held its first virtual meeting. It was a historic day at the County Council. For the first time, the council held its meeting virtually for thousands of county residents.
Obviously, this is not the usual way that Montgomery County has been doing their council meetings.
Despite the COVID-19 outbreak, the council conducted regular business following Governor Hogan's rules of no more than 10 people at a gathering. 5 council members were in the chambers and 4 participated in the meeting through Skype.
And participating in a county council session from my house. So I have 2 laptops here, one that actually has my Skype and the other one that has all the information that I need regarding what our agenda is. So, excuse me, I got a vote.
We had council members call in. They would text me that they wanted to speak. We figured out a new way to do business, and we're going to have to continue to do it until this crisis passes.
And much of the day's agenda focused on relief for those most affected by the virus and its consequences.
The impact of the actions that we've put into place will be seen over the course of the next week.
Council members also received a briefing from Dr. Travis Gales and Earl Stoddard, who talked about the outpouring of volunteerism across the county.
Our community has shown tremendous spirit in making donations, volunteering time. We have a community organizations active in disasters, what's known as our COAD, that is a volunteer network of our nonprofits, businesses, Boy Scouts, everything you can think of to coordinate essentially a clearinghouse where resources are offered or resources are requested, and we can offer a clearinghouse process to get those in place.
4 special appropriations to assist residents during the crisis were introduced at the council, including $260,000 to support Manna Food and $20 million to help small local businesses and nonprofits.
While we can't solve a global pandemic at the county level, and we all recognize that, we need to do our part at the county level, and we need to step up to the challenge that we recognize that you are facing.
The council will vote on all 4 of the special appropriations March 31st. Some folks say that crisis brings out the best in people, and that's the case for the Montgomery County Public Schools Food Services Division. They are continuing to provide meals to county students.
We started off with the lunch, and now today we are starting with breakfast and lunch. They just come up, they drive through. We do have walk-ups as well. We try to have 2 tables set up for both places. It was a big change already so far this early in the morning of how many we have already had come through. We're definitely getting the word out.
I understand that you've got a lot of success in terms of people that are coming out, which is great.
We're really excited that we're one of the sites that was selected by MCPS to host meal distribution, and so the Division of Food and Nutrition Services has done an amazing job organizing this. Yesterday, I believe we had just under 200 meals that were given out, and today in the first 45 minutes, there have been well over 100 meals given out, so it's definitely grown quickly.
That's amazing. It really says something about not only the need, but also the importance of what it is that you're doing. There's been talk about even expanding to possible dinner options. What does that mean for our families here in the community?
It's really important for families in our community because obviously these are really uncertain times. We want to make sure that our students, not only at Northwest, but in all the schools in this area, have access to meals.
It warms the heart to be able to see the school coming together. The County Council remains committed to trying to make sure that we continue to have these partnerships, that we continue to try and support. Unfortunately, I think have to keep this going for some time, and so it will be important for us to continue to learn.
Definitely. We really appreciate your support. That means a lot as well.
And you're out here today. It's sort of a scary time for a lot of folks, but you're out here helping out. How does this make you feel?
It makes you feel like you're actually giving something to the community, even though, you're in a time of need and stuff like that.
It makes you feel good being out there, seeing them and helping them, and knowing that they're getting something to eat.
So remember, from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. at 20 Montgomery County Public School sites across the county, we're going to be distributing breakfast and lunch. Make sure you go to the MCPS website or take a look at the graphic here that will let you know where you can go to obtain those meals.
And local businesses are stepping up to the plate as well. Why is there a line at Twin Valley Distillery at 10 in the morning? not to buy spirits, but the newest product for this Rockville business, hand sanitizer.
I saw it and I was like, all right.
At their headquarters on Goody Drive is a tent
But we're going to have 4 and 8 ounce bottles available,
where customers can come out and purchase either a 4 or 8 ounce bottle of the lemongrass scented sanitizer.
We're actually a hospital,
I know, that's
and
why.
we haven't been able to get it.
For $4 or $6.50 respectively. And to prevent hoarding, purchases are limited to 2 per customer.
I see the sign limit 2. I respect that. The radio, they named this place. I want to commend you guys for doing this. And I got on the phone and called, and here we are.
Comes to $8.46.
And you got yourself 2 bottles.
I don't need a bag. I would have liked more, but I could understand why he's limiting it. Makes sense.
Edgardo Zuniga founded Twin Valley Distillery in 2013, the very first distillery in Montgomery County, thanks to legislation introduced by Councilmember Hans Riemer. Today, Zuniga and Riemer said out-of-the-box thinking is a way to fill the need in the community and help keep this small business afloat.
How many of these?
I can make a lot more.
Yeah, tens of thousands of these.
I can make thousands of. I mean, I can easily by Friday I would probably have more than 1,000 bottles bottled. This is the alcohol we'll be using. We can actually bottle more than 100 gallons every other day. The alcohol is coming out as right here. You see it?
Twin Valley has all of the equipment on hand to make the sanitizer, which made things a lot easier when they applied for a permit with the FDA. Twin Valley was fully permitted in 2 weeks.
We bottle in between 75 and 85% alcohol per volume. So we put in more alcohol there than actually any other scent. And the purer the alcohol, the faster it dries.
But there's another bonus for Zuniga in all of this. Customers like Steve Seidman, who never knew Twin Valley existed.
If you ever need a bottle of bourbon or a smoked old fashioned, we can help.
I never knew you guys were here. I never knew they were here, and I've been to Habitat. I just never looked around, and I guess if I'd seen that sign, I would have gone, oh, that's interesting.
Not a secret anymore.
But if keeping his business afloat during these uncertain times means Zuniga has to work day and night, he's ready.
I'm not responsible for just my family now. I'm responsible for 12 different families. And that is what I see. And if I can help them, they can help me. And we can all come along.
Twin Valley Distillery is located in Rockville on Goody Drive. And the council also stepped in to offer assistance to businesses and nonprofits. As Montgomery County continues to feel the effects of the COVID-19 outbreak, County Council members have proposed emergency legislation for businesses and vulnerable residents. All 9 council members are sponsors of the Public Health Emergency Grant Program.
These aren't just the folks who employ our friends and family and neighbors. These are our friends and family and neighbors.
Tipped employees and hourly employees are furloughed right now. We can't pay them. I don't know how I'm going to pay them.
To help them keep the lights on, because in the conversations that my colleagues and I are having on a minute-by-minute, hour-by-hour basis with local employers, we realize the challenges that folks are having facing the difficult decisions of furloughs and layoffs. What's happening with their life savings, that they've put everything into the businesses that they've tried to keep running. And so, it's our job in government to provide a little bit of help.
The council introduced 2 special appropriations, $20 million for local small businesses and nonprofits that can show they've been financially impacted by the pandemic, and $5 million for existing safety net programs that serve the county's vulnerable residents.
Particularly focused on areas like housing and homelessness issues, acute health care issues, and food insecurity issues that we know are at a challenging level right now and are bound to get even worse, unfortunately, as we move through this crisis.
Assistance up to $75,000 would be provided to businesses or nonprofits with 100 or fewer employees. The grant program also includes mini grant funding up to $2,500 for the purchase of teleworking equipment to support those capabilities during the COVID-19 emergency. The $25 million package will be made available from the county's rainy day fund.
When you have a rainy day fund, you've got to use it when it's needed, and it's not raining right now, it's pouring.
Councilmember Will Juwando offered a break for parents with his very own live story time. As we work to be creative with our kids while they are out of school, one council member is offering his services as a storyteller. Every day at 11:30 in the morning, Will Juwando is reading some of his favorite children's books live on his Facebook page. Today's selections, Waiting is Not Easy and I Broke My Trunk, both by Mo Willems.
So he runs away. Piggy, what happened to your snout? It's a long, crazy story. He broke his snout the same way. This is a critical need. These early childhood education programs, these story times, early literacy programs are used heavily, and our libraries are closed. And so I said, well, why don't we try to bring a little bit of that magic? I'm not as good as our librarians, but I'm trying, to home to relieve some pressure, but also help with those educational needs.
Juwando is lead for libraries for the council and has participated in lots of storytime activities across the county. But his biggest qualification for this particular job is the hat he wears when he's not doing council business, Dad.
Said Piggy. Another groan. I don't want to wait. I have 4 young children, ages 1 to 9, and my wife and I, we read to our kids every night. And they're obviously home right now. And so we thought about all the families, caregivers that are out there that are trying to deal with, we're only in day 2 of no school and it's already nuts in our house. And so we thought about how can we relieve a little pressure, but also provide a real important need.
If you have a suggestion for a story you'd like to hear, send him a message on Facebook, and he's taking shout-outs as well.
This can be something where they don't have to be the primary. They can say, in a good setting, an educational setting, a safe setting, here's going to be a story time they can look forward to every day. And then it can be a little interactive. We started today taking requests for books, and kids, hopefully, and parents will write in, and we can start including people in the conversation.
Well, that does it for this edition of Council Wrap-Up. For more information on the Council's work, visit their website. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy.
Hi, my name's Tom Hucker. I'm the Vice President of the Montgomery County Council, and I represent downtown Silver Spring. The coronavirus has caused a huge health emergency that our health officials, our county executive, and my colleagues on the county council are dealing with round the clock. But it's also causing an economic crisis as so many restaurants and bars have had to shut down or reduce their operations, and as unemployment is rising. So we want to give you 3 things you can do to help. 1, you can order out, delivery or carry out from so many of our fantastic restaurants and bars right here in Silver Spring or anywhere else in Montgomery County. 2, you can buy a gift card to help our retailers and help so many of our establishments, so you don't even have to decide what to eat right now. You can buy a gift card for yourself and your loved ones and make a great decision to buy yourself a present at a later date. And 3rd, you can donate to some of the food pantries and other nonprofits that are delivering meals all the time to some of our families that are facing food insecurity.
I think a lot of us are probably comfortable with ordering groceries online. It's kind of a new thing that if you're really tech savvy, you know all about. But probably most people don't. And certainly I'm hearing that a lot of folks, this is a concept that they aren't aware of. First of all, I think everyone should reach out to parents, grandparents, neighbors. This is a critical issue. How do you get food if you need to remain in essentially shelter in place? If you're over 60, you've got to be so careful right now. And if you have a health condition, you have to be even more careful. So whether it's family members that are actually shopping for you and bringing you your food, or if you don't have that ability, you're ordering online, it's not actually that difficult to order online. And I think we as a community need to take some action to ensure that everyone knows how to do it.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.